From my school bus till my home, there was a SBI kiosk kind of a setup. So in my college first year, I started a company called FameNick. My first month salary was 2,000 rupees over there, which was work from home. But we are creating a ripple effect of who they help as well. So if we can help them build better systems or better, if you say that I need to work on my weakness and that will become my business, I'll make my weakness my business. So we understood that people have a lot of knowledge. People have become way smarter because of the knowledge, but it's just that they've not implied it anywhere, and that's why they're struggling. Whatever age you are, I don't care. Whatever gender you are, I don't care. Whatever state you belong to, I don't care. Take more risk, and secondly, challenge your beliefs. Whatever you think is true is not true at all. It might be something else that you're not able to see.
Back everyone to another exciting episode of iretalks podcast powered by GIBS Business School. In a world where dreams seem distant and success appears reserved for the chosen few, one man defied the odds and blazed a trail of inspiration. Today we have Mr. Himanshu Agrawal, a visionary entrepreneur whose journey embodies the true essence of passion, perseverance and possibilities. In today's episode, we will witness a journey from humble beginnings to beacon of entrepreneurship. Embark on a captivating journey with us as we explore the remarkable story of Himanshu Agrawal. From dropout to dynamic business coach, witnessing the inspiring ascent of an entrepreneurial inspiration who refuses to be confined by the conventional boundaries. Today, we will not only be knowing his journey, but get in a sense of reality behind a rich business. Hi Himanshu, welcome to iretalks podcast. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation.
Thank you so much.
So, before we get into the technical or the more strategic part of the podcast, what our viewers know you as, what our audiences know you as, is a multimillionaire who started very young, very, at the age of 90. So, what has your journey been from there? Like, how would you describe that?
So I feel I started my entrepreneurship journey by the age of 14 or 15 to be precise. And the reason I started that off because my school was a very prestigious school. It was called as NDPS and it had a 2-floor library. So one day being in the library and you just have library period for half an hour, 1 hour, and you're just exploring books, whatever gets in your hand. So earlier I used to read Sherlock Holmes or any other comic series or something like that. But one day I just got on this book called as Rich Dad Poor Dad. And what I thought was, this is a comic book because it's funny, Rich Dad Poor Dad. So I'm like, okay, there would be something funny in this. I opened the book and there was like assets, liabilities, employment and all of that. I'm like, interesting, and I just read the first chapter. I'm like, and it was more of a story format. And I still remember for the next 7 days, I just kept on reading that single book on the old library period. And from there I went to my librarian, asked him that, do you have some books that are similar like this? And then he gave me like 7 to 8 books, and that became my collection which I started off. So from there the journey started, got to know about these words. There was a friend of mine, Soumya Jain, who's still till today my best friend. He had a camera and he started off with that journey. And the DSLR was Canon 700D. We started using that particular camera and we started our photography journey from there. And from there we started taking projects for schools and students and everything, and that's where the first kind of business started, which was more of a photography business, and then multiple series of business after that.
So in your school, when I was going through your profile as well, we got to know that you started this Xbox renting as well. So what was that like? If you can just tell me the early stages of your entrepreneurship.
So my thing was my target market was my friends, right?
Okay.
So it was like they have money, so what businesses I can build which can make me money from the friends I have, right? That was simple idea. Now I'm talking it more in a jargonal language, but at that time it was more of like कि भाई इन लोगों के पास पैसा है, मेरे पास नहीं है, so how can I have more of it? Now when I had the photography business, I started making some money and I had a SBI kiosk account because I was less than 18 that time. And you can't have a bank account when you're less than 18. So what to do in that case, because I want to save the money. So I opened a SBI kiosk account, which is like a very small branch of SBI, maybe this much big, where you deposit your money. So from my school bus till my home, there was a SBI kiosk kind of a setup. So I used to go over there and put my 200, put my 700, put my 900, kind of that. And I started collecting some money. Then after one time, I was going to this PlayStation zone, which was having Xboxes and PlayStations, and we used to pay like 10 rupees per hour, 20 rupees per hour to play that. And that was Achilla. So I was like, I'm spending my money over here. How can I make return out of this? That was my simple question. So I took out the money. I saw my bank account had 8,000 rupees. I took 11,000 from my mom, and I said that in 2 months I'll give you that back. And she was, skeptical about it, but I'm like, believe me, I'll give that back. She gives me Xbox. I bought an Xbox. She gives me the money. I took an Xbox and I gave it to the renting PlayStation station. And I used to get 2,000, 2,500 per month on passive income because I gave it on rent. Because at that time EMIs on Amazon were not available. So the PlayStation owner did not have enough money to buy a full Xbox. And he used to wait for like 7 months to get a new Xbox. So I thought, why not he pays me a rent when I can provide him the asset, which dad poor dad again. So I took that particular Xbox, gave it to him. I used to get 2,500 a month. Then after 4-5 months, I gave back the money to my mom. Wait for 4-5 more months, got another Xbox, gave it to him, and now my 3-4 Xboxes were with that person, and I used to get like a rental income of 8,000-10,000 from that.
In your school days, like when you were
this 11th class, 10th class, 11th class.
That's pretty early to start. And then, from this particular model of your business, which is more into renting and subscription based kind of, which we did come across in a couple of your discussions previously. So how did ICE happen, like ICE? How did that idea happen to you, and what made you take it like a full-time thing that this is something that I want to get into? So
in my college first year, I started a company called FameNick. Kind of successful, kind of not successful. For people it is not successful, for me it was very successful. Though I made very little amounts, but that was the world to me that time. Once that was done, I had a multiple series of failure startups, like I think 3 or 4 failed startups, ek ke baad ek, which made me feel like shayad I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm just a street smart guy who can make money.
Okay.
Because in school I was making money, so I was like, I'm street smart. But I cannot build really big businesses. So I was thought, okay, let's do a job and let's be street smart with that. That will be my life. And from there, when I was in like college, first year I dropped out. At that time my company was doing good. The moment I dropped out, it started tanking down. And then it was a very haywire journey from there. And then I started working in multiple jobs after that. I worked in Flipkart, PhonePe, Teleperformance, all these things. And from there I got to know about this business coach who lives in Indore. And two of my friends were working over there already. So they were talking to Aja, this is much more fun than what you're doing right now over here, all of that. So I like, cool. I went over there. My first month's salary was 2,000 rupees over there, which was work from home. Then I had a job at Amazon already, which was 65,000 something, including my digital marketing agency and everything. I used to do 65, 70, 75. I left all of that and I started working for 2,000 rupees a month. I dropped the Amazon job, I dropped the agency, I dropped everything and took a risk ki I can explore this path, because I saw that business coach doing 6 lakh rupees in 3 hours, 8 lakh rupees in 1 day, and I was like, if I can do 10% of this, I'm done. If I can do 80,000 in a day, I'm done. If I can do 60,000 in 3 hours, I'm done, right? This would be the best life, because what I'm making now in a month, I can do in 3 hours or 1 day. So I was like, I want to explore this part. So I started working over there. My first month's salary was 2,000. Then next month I was like, I'll come to the office, I'll not work from home. So they gave me 6,000. So my salary was 6,000. I worked there for 10 months, and from there I got an idea. The business coach that I was working for was doing 1.5 lakhs a month. And from there he jumped to 4-5 lakhs, I think, something, right? And this made me understand something, that if I can grow this person's business in 10 months to 3x, can I do that for other people? So I tried this on another coach in Indore only. Their sales team also started closing more deals. Then I thought, is it because I am good or is it because the sales team is good? So I'm like, let me train a business owner who does not know sales. So I found a person online, trained him, he started closing deals. So I'm like, I'm good at this. And that's where ICE started, in which we made the vision of, let's not impact the business owner, but let's impact the person who teaches the business owner.
Wow.
So that's a ripple effect now. So if we help experts and service providers in the country, we are not helping only them, but we are creating a ripple effect of who they help as well. So if we can help them build better systems or better delivery systems and everything, that would help them impact more people. So today, if I have a 17-year-old guy who runs Facebook ads, that 17-year-old is making 40 lakhs a month. That's not important. The important part is that 17-year-old is having 18 clients who are also doing crores of revenue because of this guy. Right? So that's what becomes a ripple effect.
So, this identification of your own good skill set, what you're good at, and you just encash on what you are good at, make your strengths stronger and so strong that your weaknesses don't show. So, when this happened to you, when you recognize that I'm good at it, what was your counter thought process on it? Like, did it scare you to start?
There was no thought process, because it was like start majboori mein kehte maza aa raha hai types.
Oh.
Right. So today we can look back at it and be judgmental about it and add our jargons to it. But I feel like us time paisa tha, bhai, I am in a situation where I'll die tomorrow. Okay, I'm in a situation where my father's shop is shut. I'm in a situation where my mom is not working. I'm in a situation where my bank account has come to $1,200. And at that time, I don't think thoughts like this come, which is like scare and fear and all these things.
It's just you do it.
Yeah, you're in a situation, it's like, bro, I'm ready to do anything. If you say that I need to work on my weakness and that will become my business, I'll make my weakness my business. If you tell me my strength is my business, I'll make that my business. If you tell me that I need to train for 12 hours every single day for the next 3 years, I'm ready to do it. Whatever it takes, because I'm in a situation which will kill my family. And it's a survival mode that you are in, right? So I don't think thoughts like this comes, which is like कि डर लग रहा है, क्या होगा, पता नहीं क्या होगा, I'm going to die the next month. So let's focus on this. It was more of that.
So, with this particular industry, when we talk about coaching, education, or business coaching, mentoring industry, there's already a very dense competition. You have so many of them and so many of huge names that come into your mind as well. So how did you drive ICE, and how did you enter that market? What was it for you?
So when we started off, we were more of like very small players, right? There were very, very big players than us, right? 60 years of experience in coaching and all of that. And I'm just a 20-year-old guy who's trying to crack it out something, right? Now, when we were doing that process, in that process, when I started organically, I started getting some clients, and then I got feedback on what is the real problem of the market. We found three simple problems, right? Number one, everybody is very good at training, but everyone is not good at making them imply the training, right? Okay. So for example, even if someone is watching this podcast, very good, you're getting knowledge, but maybe 0.3% of people somehow do something about one thing, yes, right, on the whole podcast, which is the problem. Because if this podcast gets 10,000 views, 3 people actually did something about it, and that is a very bad success rate. So we understood that people have a lot of knowledge, people have become way smarter because of the knowledge, but it's just that they've not implied it anywhere, and that's why they're struggling, and they keep on buying programs in the hope that I will apply something. Number 2 problem that we saw was that everyone who is experienced is not their strength, is their weakness. If there's a sales coach who's teaching from past 50 years and now 60-year-old having a 50 years experience and is teaching from the age of 10 or whatever, he is teaching the techniques that got breakthrough in the 1970s.
Correct.
Not in 2020. So what he's teaching you is simply techniques of 1990s, 1980s, which will not work anymore now, right? If you read like old sales books, you'll see over there. I don't remember this book of the name of the book, but there was something like written that if someone says I'm, let's say, from Gwalior, I would also say I'm from Gwalior even if I'm not. I'm like, that's lying, that does not work today, right? That's against my ethics. So that's number 2 I saw, which is like they're teaching old things and people want like just...
There's no relevancy in today's times, yes.
And then the last problem, in this whole coaching and mentoring thing, when we get on stages and when we are invited on podcasts and all these things, we get a lot of claps. And these claps get in our head and that builds our ego. And that ego does not lets us develop a team that can serve people more. I understood this in the start only, that I cannot get these claps get in my head, which are going to actually destroy me in the long term. And that's why I built a team. I was on the cutting edge technologies. And lastly, the first point I said, working on actually being, what's the word I would say, but actually been able to make them apply the stuff that I'm teaching,
Implementations, yes.
and not only just make them learn it and be like,
I'm done, yes.
Yeah, right. So making them apply the things. So I think these three things made us propel further, and it will propel us further.
So, as you said, these actually are the true problems when it comes to these mentoring coachings. As you said, there's no relevancy. Things that have been working for the ages are the same things that are being passed down. And I think that's the reason many professionals, young professionals who enter the modern business era, they find it challenging because whatever went into the textbooks have not actually been seen on the field. The fields have changed. So, how do you differentiate ICE from all these models? Like, what is it that makes it special? What is the background work that goes into it to make it stand out like that?
I think ICE is not special.
Okay.
I would say contour intuitively, ICE is unique. ICE is not special, ICE is unique. We are just trying to solve a problem that exists in the market in the most possible way that can be, and by doing that we innovate enough. We try to build the teams that can take care of it. We have multiple partners who support in that, due to which we are able to get a unique positioning. But I don't think we are special because we have gone through, I think, the most challenges in the industry, because all the odds are against me. If you see, if a 50-year-old business owner is buying something from me as coaching, you would simply say, "भाई तू 24 का है."
Correct.
मैं business 30 साल से कर रहा हूँ. Right? Your age is less than my experience. If you see, then the top talent, if someone is a coder who is 42 years old and is the best at his work, he will not work for me, because he's like, "Bro, you're just starting out. I have done more coding than your age." Right? So not only this, like, I come from a lower middle class family. We don't have money for marketing and everything. Talking to these individuals who are like, so when I'm starting out, I don't even have like 50,000 in my account. I'm talking to a business owner who's doing a business of like, let's say 8 lakhs a month. So that confidence, which is against me again. So all the odds are against me. So we're not special in this case. But because of these odds, we have become something unique, and that people are loving right now.
So as you said, like, you're addressing the actual market problems in a way that is much needed but often overlooked. So that's okay. That's something that actually makes ICE unique. Now, as a youngster, when you look at other people who are aspiring entrepreneurs or who are willing to run a successful business, so I'm sure you would have mentored a lot of such people. As per you, when it comes to that ingredient, that not so secret or that secret sauce that someone would have, which makes it a successful running business, and which, it's there in the open light, but it's often overlooked. What would that be for you? Like, what are your observations like that?
There's nothing called a secret sauce. It's the myth. And the reason this secret sauce is used so that you can sell something. And I'm the master of that. So I know how it works. Instead of me telling that, 3 fundamentals of business, 3 secrets of business sounds very sexy. And
yes.
3 fundamentals would not. And I teach that, I do that, so I know exactly how it works. But there's no secret at all. What everyone thinks is that a piano has 89 keys. Well, actually a piano has 88 keys. Right? I may be wrong on this, but ऐसे कुछ था. So if a piano has 88 keys, the person who does not know piano thinks that there are 89 keys, and a pianist is able to, play that piano really well because of the 89th key. Well, actually, there are only 88 keys, which the Oscar level pianist and you both have. It's just that he has practiced the 88 keys enough and you have not. And once you do it enough, you should be able to play the same way. But you think that the 89th key is the secret, and that's why you keep on looking at the 89th key to build your business, but there's no 89th key. That's the secret. Just look for the 88 keys.
So do you think, like, when you say there's no 89th key or there's no secret as such, but the fields have changed, so next gen AI coming into picture, or all these modern technologies coming into picture, the skill set requirement of not just entrepreneurs but also any person who would be entering the working era of their lives, that has evolved. So when you look at today's generation, the Gen Z, they're all online. So what advice do you have that these are the skill sets that you should look out for? if you want to be successful, if you want to go into that 1% club of your age?
I think that it does not matter which era it is, but it's the 3 skills that I've always worked out, and I call that the golden triangle, right? Maybe it's 1950s, maybe it's 1970s, maybe it's 2000 or it's 2020. The words might change of that skill, but there are 3 skills that are like common consistently throughout the roof. Number 1 is communication, number 2 is copywriting, number 3 is closing. 3 C's, that's it. And if you can master these 3 C's, you can build any business you want. Look at any billionaire, look at any millionaire, look at any person. They are good at these 3. Example, Steve Jobs, is he good at communication?
Yes.
Copywriting, the ability to choose the right words, is he correct on that? Yes. Is he a master closer? Yes. Warren Buffett, is he good at communication? Obviously. Is he good at copywriting? That means the share letter holdings, whatever you see from one desk, is it good? Yes. Is he a good closer? Yes, he's taking billions of dollars of investment, so he is. Any billionaire you see has 3 things in common, and these 3 skills is what make them like sharper and sharper and sharper, and that's exactly what makes them what they are today. And if you want to just add some spice over it for Gen Z, and they want something extra, work on these 2 extra things: innovation and leadership, and you're done.
So what in innovation exactly? Like, generally,
Doesn't matter.
Students, if I talk to you from the student's point of view as well, so when we say innovation, we think it's having a lot of ideas out of the world, like, building a road to Mars or something like that. But what exactly is innovation and leadership?
So 3 skills we are clear on. Just to give a cherry on the cake, these 2 skills are used: leadership and innovation, right? To become a millionaire, like if you want to become an easy millionaire in 5 months or 5 years, you play with these 3 skills. If you want to become an easy billionaire in 15 years, you play with these 5 skills. That's how it works. Now, when you talk about innovation, what you talk about like road to Mars and rocket to moon and all of that, that's ideas. That's not innovation. Innovation is about, this is a plant that provides X oxygen in this much area. Can I make a plant this big that can make the same oxygen?
Correct.
Right. So whatever the utility of something is, can you define it further? That's innovation, right? So if the utility of, let's say, this camera is to record me, and this camera is taking X space, can I reduce the space? If it is recording in 1080p, can I do it 4K? That's innovation. Simply looking at what is already solved and making it do better, right? For example,
so it's not always reinventing the wheel from the beginning, it's making it faster, making it better.
Making it better, faster, cheaper, that's it, right? So shoes, if you see the shoes from 1960s, how they look, and see the shoes of today, that's innovation. Now I'm not saying that's innovation that will lead us to Mars, but that's innovation that solves a problem of billion people, and people have made billions of dollars with that, right? So I think just solving a very small problem also can make a huge difference.
Perfect with that. I mean, as I said, there's this notion that if you have to be innovative, you have to invent something. And that is where, someone had to say it, that innovation is about solving the problem that might already exist, or that might be a future problem, like foreseeing the future. Now, coming towards, again, the digital platform. So you have worked very closely, as you in your own words said, you have worked at the back end of this YouTube industry, the social media. So if you have to share insights or notes that you have, that if YouTube has to run successfully, what are the things that you need to keep in mind, or how the industry works, what would that be?
So I think this is not the right question for me. I'm not the expert of that topic. Is because I work on the back end of this traffic generation systems.
Yes.
To help people make money, not to get more views. So I myself is not getting good at views, right? So I'm not the right expert to talk about views and engagement and growing your media, but I'm right expert to talk about how do you monetize that traffic that you're already getting.
Yes.
Right? So if we are on that question, which is like, how do YouTubers or any creator or anyone, how do they monetize their audiences? It simply depends on sitting with your audience and asking them, right? Most people think that as a consultant, when I come, I just give some magic thing to do and some magic would happen, something like that. No, I simply just call their customers. I simply ask, what do you want from this person? And then the person tells me, I want this, I want X, I want Y, I want Z. And I would do hundreds and hundreds of calls myself, not with a team member, myself, to understand oh, this is what the actual problem is. And then I would create an offer, a product, a mechanism, a messaging that would speak directly to that consumer that I'm talking about, that would solve a problem in a packaged format that he would love to accept as and would ready to pay money for it. And then I help the YouTuber launch it, or help the creator, or help the coach launch it. And that's where they make money. Simple.
Wow. And what about these, again, influencers or social media aspirants who in today's time, I think the online platforms are a better sought after job opportunity than actually going into the corporates and working out. So what is it for them? Like, what are the career opportunities that they can look at, or how can they grow in that particular world?
Yeah, I would say there's nothing like polar in this, right? There's nothing like black and white in this. If you think, oh, I'll become an influencer and I'll become rich, not true. I'm telling you. So I was dating this girl from Bombay. She has 1.2 million followers, right? 1.2 million, and she's like, I'm launching, this T-shirt brand, and this would happen, that would happen. And I'm like, I don't think that would happen, but you can try. She invested, I think, 7 lakh rupees into the whole infrastructure, everything, the website, the store, the everything, right? Images, everything. She launched at 1.2 million followers. She got 13 sales in a week of a 700 rupees T-shirt, something, right? And then she was like crying, and I like told you. And then the simple thing is, but why this happened? I'm like, it's because your audience is there for a different purpose. So when you're becoming an influencer, or becoming a creator, or becoming whatever you want to be, it's just not about posting content and hoping someone would buy. Nope. It's more about strategically building the audience that you want, so that they become customers, right? I clearly tell everyone, I'm not a content creator, I'm a business owner, and I'm very clear about it. And then people ask, then why do you create content? My purpose of creating content is very clear. I want talent. I don't create content to get customers, I create content to get the talent I want. If I'm making this podcast right now, I'm not trying to speak to the customer I have, because for that ads are running, I have a sales team, everything's perfect. I'm making this podcast because if some kid is watching this, maybe after 5 years he's enough trained, and he'll reach out to me and work in the company that I have, right? And I am very clear on the purpose of content. Most people are not clear. They're like, I'll make money also, and then I'll become famous also, and then X, Y. Too cluttered. What's your one purpose that you make content for? If you're clear on that, you'll not care about user engagement.
So again, does technology interfere with your purpose, or has it made things easier or more difficult? How does that combination work, wherein when we talk about content creation, content generation, reaching out to the right people? So do you think that ChatGPT, AI, all of this have made the job easier or more tougher for the people?
I'll ask you a simple question. If you are right now, let's say, in college, and you have a colleague of yours as well, they're kind of your competition.
Okay.
Let's say you're fighting on the rank 1. They have a computer and you don't. Who will win? The computer one. Let's make it tougher. You both have a computer. They have all the Microsoft tools and you don't. Who will win? Okay. Let's make it more tougher. Let's say you both have computers, you both have Microsoft tools. She has internet access, you don't. Who will win?
The internet access, yes.
Lovely. And now let's make it one step further, which is they have the access of AI tools and you don't. Who will win? As simple as that, right? It's just a tool. If you learn to use it, it would be beneficial. If you don't learn to use it, आगे सीखना ही पड़ेगा. तो कोई point नहीं.
So like that's a coming future. So whether or not you settle with it, it's on you. But
it's fine,
if you do,
there are today also that I've seen like 4-star hotels working on registers.
Yeah.
It's because they did not learn Excel, and now they have like 6 feet piles of registers and they mark every entry and cancel it, right? But if they would have learned Excel, their salary would be higher. They would do less effort for it. And I'm not saying कि registers बेकार है. बिल्कुल करो. If you like it, please do it. But then don't complain about your salary and your growth and everything, right? So either don't complain or either settle with what you have. Like you can't be like getting the best salaries and not even learning the latest technologies. That's not possible.
Okay, so it's like you have to stay competitive to be paid competitive, like put up in one phrase. Perfect. And one question that I had, I always was curious about this since the day we started looking for your profile and how, where, what happened. So there was this one workshop of yours which made it to the headlines of many social media platforms. Can you tell me a little more about it? Like, what was that workshop? How did it happen to be that 1 crore revenue generating, and how did all of that happen to you?
So it was not more of 1 crore, it was 3.5 crores for the first time, 4.8 for the second time, and then 3 something again for the third time, which was potential revenue. Cash collected was around 30% of that, and it was not only me who did the work, it was a whole team of people. Now that is basically a 3-day event that we do. Day 1, day 2, day 3, each one is 3 hours. And on the last third day, we simply say, if you like this, you can register for our programs or coaching or something that we have. And that's where we saw the flood of people coming and buying that. I've stopped it. I used to do it earlier. Now I've stopped it. Is because we are going towards a different tangent. We are trying to make my business Himanshu free, in which how does IC runs without Himanshu. So for that reason, we have stopped it and we are doing something else to figure out how to make it better. That was called J2B, Job to Business. Now we're trying to transition into more things in which Himanshu is not needed. So it was a 3-day event. In the last 3 hours, we did 3.8 one time, 4.8 one time, and that's how it worked.
Okay, so that was 3 days, 3 hours each. Oh, and what do you think, again, if I have to come down to the basics again, was it the 3 C's that made this an effective thing,
yes,
or was it something else as well?
Every single time. If someone watched this podcast and after this podcast pays me 1 CR, it's because of the words I use in this, it's because of the way I'm communicating with you and the way I close them or manipulated or persuade them. People think manipulation is the wrong word. Manipulation is simply, if I'm doing this right now, it's manipulation in my head, right? So simply playing with something is called as manipulation. So it's not a wrong word, it's to give some context. So if I'm persuading someone or influencing someone or doing something, that's closing part. So I'm using the 3 skills right now as well, and every single time you're using them.
Wow. And now that we are towards the end of the discussion and we are closing on the episode, so I'm sure our viewers here would love to hear from you, like maybe a giveaway message or something that you would like to share with them.
In every podcast I've ended with 2 things whenever they ask this question of your last words. Take more risk and challenge your beliefs. Whatever age you are, I don't care. Whatever gender you are, I don't care. Whatever state you belong to, I don't care. Take more risk, and secondly, challenge your beliefs. Whatever you think is true is not true at all. It might be something else that you're not able to see, or maybe partially true. So challenge the belief that you have, and that would propel you further.
Thank you so much to all our viewers for watching. And thank you so much, Himanshu, for this entire discussion. And I'm pretty sure they would have made their notes about how social media is, what's the business for tomorrow, and what are the possibilities that await you. I'm Palak Bansal, your host, signing off. And this is iretalks, powered by GIBS Business School, where innovation meets inspiration. I hope you enjoyed today's discussion. And if you did, please do share it, like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more episodes, and to connect with iretalks, reach out to us on social media wherever you can find us: LinkedIn, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook. Until next time.